Alright guys, welcome to the channel. It's not the FTC, by the way, that's enforcing this, no gory intro thing. It is YouTube's new guidelines, and YouTube, as we know, are extremely inconsistent in how they process things, so I'm just gonna go back to some regular, well-made intros like in the background, and then cover the content, and have some more gory and amazing horror game footage in the background as always, until YouTube starts hitting me for it, and then I'll change. But at least for now, we know that softcore nude imagery, as of my last video, is proof, as it got manually reviewed by YouTube, is eligible for monetization, so we have a fallback plan in case things get bad. That said, let's get into the topic anyway. And that will be the fact there's been some recent updates on the topics regarding Resident Evil 3, as well as other things as well potentially. So let's get into that anyway, and we're going to be covering absolutely everything in this video that has come out recently, and now that I've said that, I guarantee there's like one or two things that I miss. So whoever in the comments sees that, let everybody know what I fucked up on. Now get your popcorn as always, go grab your grandma, and let's have some fun. Now, this journey of Resident Evil 3's remake and its leaks and everything we know actually starts 2 days before the PSN leak and before anybody knew what was happening. And this is because I was having a conversation with the writer for Resident Evil 2, Brent Friedman. However, he said he was working on a secret project for Capcom. Of course, he can't reveal that due to an NDA. My first thoughts were, it's either Resident Evil 3's remake, Resident Evil 8, or Project Resistance. But considering 2 days later that the Resident Evil 3 project gets leaked out, and Brent of course has been well trusted with a remake considering Resident Evil 2's success, then it is quite likely, in my opinion, that Brent might just be working on Resident Evil 3's remake for Capcom, and that is quite important as he was literally the single writer for Resident Evil 2 and did an exceptional job, and so this already sets a good bar if so. But just remember, we can't confirm anything until we do see information related to that, which would be very late down the line. But this is where the story starts. Now of course, after the PSN leaks, people expected Capcom to remove this, or they were quite curious if this was actually just a mistake overall. But instead of actually removing the listing from the website, all they did was remove the thumbnail which showed the in-game art. And this was quite a surprising move, but it did seem to confirm Resident Evil 3's existence that much more, and affirm that it was quite close as well, because of the fact that if it wasn't, the listing probably would be removed, as it would be a huge marketing screw up to leave it up otherwise. Now some have speculated that this might have been intentional to get some feedback on the models and other things, but it also could have been a mistake. It does leave one to wonder, however, as these things would be very hard to accidentally do. I mean, imagine accidentally uploading your IP to the PSN store, putting a thumbnail on there, getting a description stuff, putting it public, confirming everything, saving it. Accident, guys, sorry. Let's just blame Jeff. He always does this kind of stuff anyway, so they probably hired a guy called Jeff and he did that exact thing right there. But let's carry on. After this, Project Resistance gets its cover art revealed in another leaked imagery, and of course Capcom is just spilling out at the moment and can't keep anything in anymore. And so we get some more information as well, and this one might not be related to Resident Evil 3 or any other Capcom project, but based on the screenshots, it definitely is peculiar either way. Now our beautiful voice actor for Leon in Resident Evil 2 has this to say: "So grateful, back in the suit for another kick-ass project. Can't share details for a while, but it'll be worth the wait. So happy to be able to do this kind of work. It was my whole childhood, haha." Now, did I just actually quote haha? Jesus. Now this guy, he's a huge Resident Evil 2 fan. I talked to him personally, I've watched him in interviews and stuff. He absolutely loves the franchise. He's not one of those voice actors or people that, you know, doesn't even play video games. Now of course, that is why this entire It Was My Whole Childhood line is quite interesting, as well as the fact it does look like he has kind of a uniform on for somebody in Raccoon City, and a weapon that resembles the one that Carlos is using for Resident Evil 3. Now you can also see he does have it tagged with RE2, so it could be related to Capcom. However, he does go on to confirm in Twitter that unfortunately it isn't Resident Evil 3, so it's possibly another project like Project Resistance, Resident Evil 8, or it could just be something else entirely, or something non-Capcom related, but with the RE2 hashtag, I'm quite convinced it is. 2 months before all of this information started coming out, Capcom had been updating Resident Evil 2 in a very curious and intriguing manner, and on top of that, they added a new achievement to it that started getting fans wildly speculating. This is quite interesting because whenever this usually happens, some new content such as a DLC for the game comes out, and this could be related to Nick, considering he did voice act for Leon, and thus this would be right up the alley and could possibly even be a Resident Evil 3 pre-release DLC hype advertisement kind of thing, you know, where they release some connection DLC between the two games right before RE3's release trailer or something like that, but we'll just have to wait to see. But this one has still been receiving updates until this day, so it's quite an interesting one, and I do think it is relevant to what Capcom's doing currently, and it's definitely something strange as they've never done anything like this before. After this, 2 close-up pictures release and get leaked. The first is of Jill Valentine up close, and of course you can see a complete redesign of her character here and also her outfit, at least the upper portion of it, and also a lower screenshot of Nemesis in a street. And I'm not sure if this last one is authentic, but I do believe that it is, so I'm just going to put that in there, so if people do know if this is from a game or something and I've been trolled, do let me know, but I do believe it is an authentic leak. The Jill one, however, is 100% real, and everyone was expecting some kind of information due to this, or some kind of reveal. You know, Capcom's kind of been put in the spotlight heavily here, especially from the fact that they never removed the listing from the PSN store, and then Geoff Keighley comes out and says this about the Game Awards, and it's that Capcom isn't going to be showing Resident Evil 3 there, and that there was never any plans for that or anything of the kind. And this kind of upset a lot of people and made people think that Resident Evil 3 wasn't really going to get any kind of information or info dumps coming out soon. And of course, some people would say, well, Geoff, if you'd been caught out, you know, you wouldn't really admit to it, you'd try and do some PR cover up and then go, oh, but we got you because it really was here at the end of it. But I would actually kind of say that it's possibly actually kind of factual that it's not going to be at the Game Awards because of the fact that Zoosh comes out with a very unique and interesting tweet, and I'll show it on screen here. What if the game was revealed before TGA at a different event? Nah, I'm just kidding. Unless ... And as you can see, that's a very teasy tweet, and Zoosh has a lot of authenticity. You know, you see that Twitter tick on there that basically means anything he says is the word of God and all law, so you can't really disagree with this. But it is kind of funny and an interesting and teasing tweet, and we do know that a few events are coming up quite soon anyway before TGA, so it looks like Resident Evil 3 might be getting a release at that point. And this is where something else comes up as well. Capcom's now updating their website, and you know, this could be completely unrelated, but considering every other change that has been happening between Resident Evil 2, leaks with Resident Evil 3, Project Resistance, the writer for Resident Evil 2 working on something Capcom related, the voice actor for Leon possibly working on something Capcom related, and so much more information, that I do believe these things are connected. And the website possibly is going through an upgrade for something to do with the next generation of gaming, or possibly even something to do with the next generation of consoles. I'm not really sure why Capcom's doing it, but I do think it's possibly related to Resident Evil 3. Now, there is a lot of people with insider information on Twitter and other various places, and a lot of sources do talk to a lot of individuals, more so than you might imagine. So I'm very curious as to what we're going to see coming up, and I'll just say keep your eyes glued on Twitter. There is definitely some people with specific insider knowledge, even some smaller people that you might not even realize it. So like I said, keep your eyes peeled. This is basically the whole story up to now, with every update, everything weird going on and everything connected, all in one nice little linear video for everybody to enjoy. Now, I hope you did get the popcorn your grandma. Make sure to wake her up so that you can both like my video, share it, and give me a subscribe. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I do hope you found it informative as always. I'm really looking forward to seeing the next few weeks, because we all know something big's coming, let's be honest. And I just hope you're having a beautiful day as always. Take it easy and peace.